Kate and I have been designing some things. Look at this to celebrate the 250th anniversary. Look, this is one of several designs. Look how cute this is. Hi, my friend. I'm Pat Sloan. I have one of the others here because I'm getting them in to show you. This is a magnet. You can put this one, like it's a large magnet, can go in your car. Could probably go on the top of your laptop. We're going to get some smaller magnets. So fun, right? Look at that. Oh, okay. So when you go out to the website, that's linked below where all the merchandise is, you'll see some of the other designs. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Oh my goodness, it's going to be fun. So many cute things. All right, so I have a spin around the studio. We have the social lights, and I want to show you something that I got in that's very helpful for me, and maybe it'll help you as well. Let's take a look at some of the stuff I was rooting through this week. The mushrooms quilted. Now I usually put a binding on it that's a little bit more solid, but I thought it would be really fun to try this one. It's that fabric here, which is, you know, got the pops of color from the flowers, and I really like it. It's fun to do something different every once in a while. And then my friend quilted mushrooms. Look at them. We found this pattern a while back, and then I was like, yes, save it, save it, save it until we have this quilt done. So stinking cute. For this pattern of mine, so many of you made it in awesome colors. And if you have one, please share it today. It was the March block a day, I think, from 2025. I believe it was the last one I did. I think I did those for 5 years. That was the run of that particular project. But I really love doing this. My friend gave me this packet of fabric, and then I bought a little bit more to help it and added things I already had, like this very, very old stripe, if you remember me telling you. But there's a lot of directional fabric, like almost all of it. And so I had to do a lot of very specific placement. Whereas if you don't use directional fabric on this, you can twist and turn quite easily without worrying about, you know, you might have color placement for everything, but the center block won't matter so much. But for me, I wanted everything vertical that was supposed to be vertical. Quilting on it is, there's a big swirl, and then there's some angular pieces, angular parts there, and then there's like kind of Baptist fan kind of parts. So it is a geometric with that one swirl in there. Lemon chiffon is going to be so fun to put on my couch. It is so happy. Yellow, 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 and many of these fabrics you guys sent me. You were so sweet to do that. My friend quilted it with bees. Let me just see. Bees, do you see the bees? And then it's got kind of a honeycomb. See the honeycomb? Hexagons, you know, so hexagons and bees. Isn't that darling? So fun, so fun. And I even have, like, here's one of my fabric lines. That's my fabric line, that's my fabric line. There's all kinds of fun things in here. These bunnies crack me up. Bunnies, little lion, watermelon, ladybugs. Just, that's a little Christmas fabric. There you go. It's got yellow. We don't care if it says Christmas. Cute, so cute. Two more for binding. London Town, which I have binding, and I have some little things people sent that I might incorporate somehow onto a label on the back, which means it's just a little more work to think about. I believe I was doing this as a hanging sleeve. I don't know if I'm still going to do that. And then this one, which is one of the quilt-alongs that we did. Yeah, I love the colors, that gray and yellow and teal. Now, I don't have any binding. I checked. There's no binding. Remember I showed you this as an option for the bee? So I have this yellow still. So I think I'm just going to go with the yellow because I mean, this would kind of be good, but I think there wasn't a limited amount of that. And I think I did see that when I was looking through the black bin, but I don't know that it has enough. This yellow, for some reason, I must have bought like acres of it. I don't know, like, 200 yards or something. It just seems to have been going on forever and ever. And you can see it's right here. And I still have, sorry, it's right here. I still have a pretty big chunk. Although I don't think it is edge to edge. Like I think this is like leftover pieces now. You can see. But I've used it so many places. So I think I'm just going to do that. I may just peek and see about that black. I don't want black because, like solid black. But I may look to see if there's a dark charcoal. But I don't know. I don't mind the yellow. Doing yellow binding. This would be like the third yellow binding. Three yellow bindings. It's spring. That's what it's all about. It's spring. I could do turquoise, but I don't really want to have another color. There's just not a lot of definition there. So it's either yellow or a dark charcoal. I'm going to look at the charcoal. Here's the first bin, and here's this beads that I showed you. But there's not enough. I don't want that anyways for the binding. That would just be odd against this one. I'm looking and I'm not lifting the camera. Now I could do, this is black, but I don't want something that dark. So I said I don't want solid black. I also have this woven, and I don't think they're making this anymore. I have, again, massive. I've used it a lot. I've used it for different things. I got extra because I loved it. I'm gonna look in the other gray bin because I'd like something darker if I'm going to go dark gray. Nothing is speaking to me. I do have this, which is not as dark of a black. See here? See the difference? You can see it. This is sort of a lighter black. It's not that dense black, and so that is an option. Let me put it underneath because it's only a little bit. So that would be an option. I may have to lay the whole thing out. I just don't have a dark gray, and so I might just go with the yellow. We will see. I do have some ginghams, the black, but I think that's just introducing something else. And there is a stripe, but it's kind of a cool stripe. I don't know if there's, that's not a, there's, that, you got to dig around. Got to dig around in your bins. Let's see. That is, because it's got the gray and the black. Okay. That one or the yellow. I'm going to leave them both out. Think about them. There's the options. Decided that it was time to look at the jars and see how they're going. These are mushroom fabrics that were sent to me by many of you, and I have plenty of them. I had more than I could use, and I'm using this free pattern that was from Ruby Society for mason jars. They have nice wide sashings, which I really like, but I decided that I am not going to do 5 by 5. I'm going to do 4 by 5, and that's the layout there. I will audition the wide sashing after I get all of the jars made. It turns out I needed to cut 2 more of the lids, the water base or whatever at the top of the jar, the glass jar, and then I have to cut a few more of the squares. I have enough of the lids. And then I'm sewing those sew and flip corners as I go, and I actually have all the lids, or not the lids, I have all of these blue pieces except for the 2 I just cut are ready. They're already sewn. Okay, so that's looking cute. I don't know if that'll be the final layout, but I have a few darker ones, as you can see, darker, and then a lot of lighter color ones, but I'll sprinkle them all around. I think it's going to turn out super cute. So the canning jars, here they are up close. Yeah, they are so stinking cute. I am really happy with that alternate format, just one less row. The pattern has these pretty far apart, which I really like, but probably I need to sort of redraft the distance here for the space that's going to hang in so that it fits and doesn't get grow too much, since I took off a whole side on it. Okay, here is the socialites this week, which is fantastic for spring, spring, spring. We're in April. April showers bring May flowers. So we would like to have May flowers right now, right? So isn't this cute? It's so sweet. I could see a whole quilt of these. You could do, wouldn't this be darling for a baby quilt for a little girl with a whole bunch of flowers? Oh, so pretty. I want one. It'd be great for a table runner. You could do a table runner. You could even do a couple of these on a table runner, maybe like in the center a star or a heart or something like that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So that is your Socialites block. And as you know, that was shown on Friday, the previous Friday, at Kimberly Jolly's, the Fat Quarter Shop's website. And Gina Tell is also making the little baby versions. So you want to check out her YouTube channel as well. Okay. So this is one of the things that I've been going through stuff, and I had collected some projects over the years and more recently, and this is one, you know, to do in the future. So this is one of my more recent things that I found, and it's called the still room for like potions, you know, but perfumes, potions. You got a chemist in your family. But what I loved is that in the Disney game that I play, when I first saw this, it was in last fall, and we had in the Disney game a potion hut, and it was a whole big event based around the potion hut and all the shelving with the potions on it and all this really fun stuff. And I just got tickled by that. I thought, oh, that is so darling. And then I saw this and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make a potion quilt. And so I collected a bunch of the fabric. This is a free pattern. So if you want to make some version, you can make a little bit smaller version. Like you could do just like three rows and then cut off a little bit like this so that it's a little bit smaller. I think it's very forgiving for that you could just sort of adjust it a little bit and not have all of that. But I collected up the different tulip pink. This is a tulip pink pattern. It collected up different pieces of the fabrics that will really make it very similar to this. So I'm super excited about that. Okay, before I show you the helpful thing I got in, we're going to do this week. You want to try to get all your blocks done for Silver Lake, and then next week I will finish that up. Let me show you the backing. Hold on. It is doubled over, but I did long strips or wide strips for the backing. Burgundy, light blue, and then the darker blue in the middle, and then light blue, and then the burgundy. So this is the backing for the quilt, and that will I'll have it here next week, and then it'll go off to be quilted. So the last thing I want to show you is this hand massager that the people at Bob and Brad's YouTube channel, which are the physical therapists, they sent it to me. Remember, they sent me the back one, which has been super helpful. Well, they also had this hand one. I said, you know, they asked me if I wanted to try another product, and I was like, I would really like to try this, because after I broke both my wrists, my left one has never been 100%, but you know, it's very manageable. But it would be nice if I could get some sort of a massage on it. So this is what it looks like. And it comes with a whole packet of gloves, because you don't want to stick your hand in there and, you know, get the lining soiled. So you put the plastic glove on, which is, you know, even if you run out of them, you probably have food grade gloves at home, things like that. So you just end up sticking your hand in here, and there's form fitting slots for all your fingers and your thumb. And if you're doing the other hand, you just flip it over and stick it in this way. But it has a button, an easy button, and when you press it, it will go for quite a while. It's probably 15 minutes or 20 minutes that it will do this. And there's multiple settings, so you can adjust it to what works for you. I like the default setting a lot. It also massages the wrist. And if for some reason you can't do the whole thing, or all of a sudden it feels uncomfortable for some reason, your hand maybe didn't get in there right, you just, where's the button? You just press the button, and it stops and releases. But what it's doing is it's massaging along every finger because you're in a slot, and then around your hand and your wrist. It's just, for those of you who have hands and wrists that ache, mostly hands, but since it does sort of do the wrist just a tiny bit. Anyway, this, I really feel like it's helping my left hand just get loosened up. I've been doing a lot of handwork or gaming. It really has been helpful. All right, my friend, there's a link for this and a code. So check it out. And if you are in the market to look for something like that, this might be good. Ta-da! All right. I hope you enjoyed this. Peek around, and I don't know when I'm going to do the potion quilt. I like the name Potion Quilt better. I don't know when I'm going to do this, but I will, because I'm excited. Since I pulled all the fabric, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.